Hey everyone, Bright here, back with you on Ghana Songs TV.
And I'm Ro, glad to be back in this seat.
Chine is here too, and today we're talking about a project a lot of you have been waiting on. Moliy's debut mixtape just landed, and Ghana shows up on it in a big way.
So here's the news. Today, July 31st, Moliy officially released her debut mixtape, BADDIES Love Moliy, put out through Gamma. 12 tracks, and the whole thing is built around themes of empowerment and just fearless self-expression. She's described it herself as inspired by the energy of parties, raves, that whole global body culture. And it blends Afrobeat, dancehall, and some genuinely futuristic production. What strikes me first is the guest list. Tyla, Skillibeng, Shensia, Yailin Lamasviral, and Ghana's own Sarkodie all show up across this tracklist, which tells you Moliy isn't just making a Ghana record or a diaspora record. She's making something that pulls from everywhere she's touched. She even said, quote, "I didn't want to stay in one lane with this mixtape. Every song pulls from a different energy, sound, and part of my personality, but it all connects through confidence, freedom, and movement." End quote. And remember, this is the same artist behind Shake It to the Max, the remix that spent 22 straight weeks at number 1 on Billboard's US Afrobeats chart and crossed 1 billion streams. So, a debut mixtape from her isn't a small release. It's genuinely one of the bigger Ghanaian music movements of the summer. Ro, walk us through the Ghana connection specifically.
Yeah, so track 9 is where it really hits home for us. It's called ACCRA Girls, and Moliy links up with Sarkodie, with her sister Mellissa also featured on the same song. And here's the detail that got me. Sarkodie isn't just dropping a guest verse in English for the international crowd. He's rapping predominantly in Chi. On a mixtape stacked with Jamaican dancehall stars and a Dominican pop artist, Ghana's most decorated rapper shows up and doesn't dilute himself at all. He brings the language home. That's a real statement, honestly. It says the Ghanaian sound doesn't need to translate itself to sit next to Skillibeng or Shensia. It can just be exactly what it is and still belong on a global tracklist. I think that's actually a bigger deal than people are giving it credit for, because we've seen plenty of cross-border collabs where the Ghanaian or Nigerian feature gets sanded down to fit an international palette. And this is the opposite of that. Chineye, tell them about the other half of our beat on this one, the Tyla connection.
Right, so track 6 is Body Go, featuring South Africa's Tyla, and that one's actually not brand new to this mixtape. It was already out as a single, but having it anchor the project ties our whole region together on one release. You've got a Ghanaian-American lead artist, a Ghanaian rap legend in Sarkodie, and South Africa's biggest pop export in Tyla, all on the same body of work. And that matters for how we should be thinking about Moliy's year overall. She made history as the first Ghanaian artist ever nominated at the American Music Awards. She became Spotify's most streamed Ghanaian artist of 2025. And she just took home World Artist of the Year at the iHeartRadio Music Awards. So this mixtape isn't coming out of nowhere. It's landing right at the peak of the biggest year of her career. And she's using that spotlight to pull Ghana and South Africa into the same frame, instead of just riding the moment solo. Honestly, compare that to how some artists handle a breakout year. They play it safe and stick with what already worked. Moliy did the opposite. She used the attention to widen the circle.
And that's really the story in one line. A Ghanaian-American artist at the height of her breakout, using her debut mixtape to put Sarkodie and Tyla on the same record.
Exactly. And knowing Moliy, this probably won't be the last time she does something like this. She's shown she likes building bridges, not just chasing one hit at a time.
So let us know, which track are you diving into first? ACCRA Girls, or Body Go? Drop it in the comments. We're reading through all of them.
And if you want to stay on top of everything moving in Ghanaian, Nigerian, and South African music, go ahead and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.